Have you ever looked into the eyes of a donkey and wondered what stories they hold? Today, we're going to journey through the life of one such remarkable animal, a donkey named Jasper. From his first wobbly steps in a sun-drenched field to the gentle wisdom of his later years, Jasper's story is one of resilience, quiet strength, and the surprising depth of a creature often misunderstood. Jasper was born on a crisp spring morning, his long, fuzzy ears twitching at the new sounds of the world. His mother, a gentle soul named Daisy, nudged him encouragingly. Those early days were a blur of warmth, milk, and learning to navigate his own long legs. The farm was his whole world, a patchwork of green pastures, the comforting scent of hay, and the familiar faces of other animals. He'd spend his days chasing butterflies, his youthful brays echoing across the valley, a sound of pure, unadulterated joy. He learned the rhythm of the farm, the crow of the rooster at dawn, the hum of the tractor in the afternoon, and the soft calls of his mother as dusk settled. As Jasper grew, so did his responsibilities. He was no longer just a playful foal, but a working animal. He learned to wear a harness, at first a strange and cumbersome thing, but soon it became a familiar part of his day. His job was simple but vital, carrying supplies from the village back to the farm. The path was steep and winding, but Jasper's hooves were steady and sure. He learned to read the terrain, to know which stones were loose and which paths were safest after a rain. He wasn't the fastest, but he was the most reliable. The farmer, a kind man with calloused hands, would often pat his neck and say, "Good boy, Jasper, you're the heart of this farm." This small gesture, this quiet acknowledgment, was everything. It was a bond built not on words, but on shared work and mutual respect. Jasper's days were filled with a steady routine, but he found beauty in the consistency. He knew the exact spot on the trail where the wild roses bloomed in summer. There sent a sweet reward for his efforts. He recognized the call of the bluebird that nested in the old oak tree at the halfway point. He saw the seasons change, not just in the weather, but in the very earth beneath his feet. The dusty heat of summer gave way to the crisp, colorful leaves of autumn, followed by the quiet, muffled blanket of winter snow. Through it all, Jasper plodded on, a steadfast and dependable presence. He wasn't just carrying supplies. He was carrying the lifeblood of the farm, connecting it to the world beyond. But life, as we know, is never just one long, sunny day. One year, a harsh winter descended upon the valley. The snow fell thicker and faster than anyone had ever seen, isolating the farm completely. Supplies dwindled, and a sense of worry settled over everyone. The farmer knew there was only one hope. He looked to Jasper, his eyes filled with a mixture of desperation and trust. The path to the village was treacherous, buried under deep drifts of snow. It was a journey no one was sure he could make. But Jasper, with his innate sense of duty and his powerful, sturdy build, was their only chance. With a final, encouraging pat from the farmer, Jasper set out. The wind howled, and the snow stung his eyes. Every step was a struggle. He sank deep into the snow, his muscles straining with the effort. There were moments when he felt he couldn't go on, when the cold seemed to seep into his very bones. But then he would think of the farm, of his warm stall, of the kind hands that fed him. He thought of his purpose. Digging deep, he pushed forward, his powerful legs churning through the drift. He used his memory of the path, sensing the solid ground beneath the thick blanket of white. It was an epic journey, a battle against the elements, driven by an unspoken loyalty. After what felt like an eternity, he arrived in the village, a snow-covered, exhausted, but triumphant figure. The villagers were astounded. They quickly loaded him with essential supplies, food, medicine, and blankets. The journey back was just as arduous, but now Jasper was carrying more than just goods. He was carrying hope. When he finally plodded back onto the farm, a weak but welcome bray announcing his return, a cheer went up. He had done Italiano. It wasn't just a donkey. It was a hero! That winter. Jasper taught everyone a profound lesson about courage and the incredible strength that can be found in the quietest of hearts. Jer, passe. The farmer grew older, and the farm changed hands. Jasper, now with a touch of gray on his muzzle and a gentle wisdom in his eyes, was retired from his working days. He was moved to a sanctuary, a peaceful haven for animals who had served their time. At first, the change was strange. The constant purpose that had defined his life was gone. But soon he discovered a new role. He became a calming presence for the other animals, especially the younger, more anxious ones. A gentle nudge from Jasper could soothe a frightened foal. His steady, quiet demeanor could calm a restless herd. He had a new purpose, to be a source of peace. He spent his days dozing in the sun, his long ears catching the gentle breezes. He'd watch the new generations of animals with a knowing gaze. He had lived a full life, a life of service, of struggle, and of quiet dignity. He had known the simple joy of a sunny field and the profound satisfaction of a difficult job well done. He had felt the sting of a winter storm and the warmth of a grateful pet. Jasper's story isn't one of grand adventures or loud proclamations. It's a quiet epic, a testament to the idea that a life of purpose, no matter how humble, is a life of value. He shows us that strength isn't always about being the fastest or the loudest, but about being steady, reliable, and true. So the next time you see a donkey, perhaps you'll look a little closer. See the intelligence in their eyes, the strength in their stance, and their history written in their quiet presence. Every creature has a story. A journey filled with its own triumphs and trials. Jasper's life reminds us to appreciate the unsung heroes all around us. The ones who carry the weight without complaint and offer their strength without asking for anything in return. They teach us about resilience, loyalty, and the profound beauty of a simple, well-lived life. Thank you for joining us on Jasper's journey today. If his story touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories from the animal kingdom. We love sharing these incredible lives with you. Until next time, take a moment to appreciate the quiet heroes in your own world.